Hi, this is Duff, WA7BFN, and welcome to This is LICW, a look at what's new, noteworthy, and happening in the Long Island CW Club for January 2025. Rolling out the week of January 27th of 25 is the Code Buddy program. JNK2Y is heading it up, and kind of exciting, I think, Jay.
And I'm excited about how it's going to be, like, the vision of it is going to be really closely integrated with the classes. Right. I think that's going to be really powerful.
A lot of people are kind of shy, and they say, well, remember that first QSO? Sweaty palms and all that good stuff. What do you think it will be the benefit of the class? What do you think is going to help?
I think it's going to be a really nice entry point for people to partner up with like-minded students.
Right.
Particularly in their own classes, people that they maybe have built a little bit of a relationship over the weeks and months that they've progressed. The anxiety with the stranger, it's structured. So, it's as much as two people can agree on meeting, once a week, twice a week, whatever. So there's like a little bit of accountability also. But I think it's just really great because people can get together with that specific goal of practicing and building together and kind of learning and growing together.
Right. Is there a particular pattern or something that you have kind of set up for the program itself there, Jay?
No, it's really just the mechanics of signing up, and it's really designed to be self-directed. So however often two people can agree to get together, and that can be challenging, can be challenging. Sure. But the more often you can do it, or really not necessarily the more often, but the more regularly, i.e. once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Over time, I think you really will see the benefit of it.
Absolutely.
Well, my involvement is really going to be kind of behind the scenes, setting up the structure, the SCED page, if you will, the place where people can go. So I'm going to be doing a lot kind of behind the scenes. The way people, if they're interested in giving it a try, each month I'll put out the online form. Has some simple questions like your email, that's the way people will contact you, your call sign, the bands that you can operate on, the times that are convenient, and the approximate words per minute that you're working on.
Perfect.
So every month I'll put together a list. I'm kind of going for maybe the beginning of the month, start fresh on the month. I'll put out the list. I'll host a Zoom session. Planning on doing that once a month at this point. Okay. I'll go over the background of the basics about the program. I'll go over some things to think about to practice. So, we've got plenty of ideas of ways you can practice, things you can do together. So I'm going to be really just helping people see what the structure is. Like the beauty of this is that it's self-directed. Right. We really want people to find somebody that they can build something with, kind of relate to, kind of as a next step. Almost an intermediary between the classes that they're taking at LICW and being on the air.
So I take it you're going to have some kind of a contact form and all that. Where are they going to find all this at this particular point?
We're really trying to streamline and make it really easy for people. It's going to be right in Groups.io. Okay. So that's going to be the base, the home base for it.
So Groups.io, and you look for the Code Buddy program, and there you go. Okay.
Yeah. It is being rolled out as the Kilo November 6 Echo Yankee Memorial Code Buddy program. Wayne was the original administrator of this program. Right. And he devoted a lot of time and effort into not only the back end part of organizing it, but also being a Code Buddy, being a very generous Code Buddy. He was my Code Buddy 2023 in the spring. Wow. And, he was really the guy that encouraged me to get up the nerve to go on the air. So I'm hoping to help other people get there too and do this with, a remembrance of his kindness, his dedication, and his spirit.
Exactly. Very nice, Jay. Well, it sounds like an absolute great program, and I'm wishing you all the best with it. Wander over there and say hello myself. So we'll see where that goes as well.
I mean, if people are thinking about it and listening to this, this is really tailored also for people who haven't gotten on the air yet, because there will be a section when you sign up in the bands, what bands you have capability of.
Okay.
You're encouraged to do this on Zoom. Mm-hmm. Or V-band.
Okay. Both of those seem to work out pretty good as far as V-band and all that seems to work as well.
Definitely. Yeah. So that's really important. I want to underscore that this is available to anybody. It's if you have experience, you don't have experience, you'll find somebody that wants to practice, and it's great to get somebody who's at a much different level than you to learn from.
Right.
But this program is really designed for people who are at a similar. You can grow together,
right? And
rather than kind of an Elmering sort of thing.
Sure, exactly.
This is a place for you to find somebody who's at the same space that you're point in the journey as you are, and you're going to work together, to build your skill.
Absolutely.
Because that's where some powerful stuff's going to happen, especially if you stick with it once a week.
Absolutely.
Something like that. And we're gonna look and see. On a monthly basis, I'm going to ask one of the people in the partner pair. I'm going to ask to just do a general report, and it's going to be really easy. It'll take literally less than a minute.
Sure.
I just want to know how many sessions you had that month and how many minutes.
Yeah.
There will be no room to type anything else in. It's going to take literally less than a minute. And I want to see. I want to see how much, because I think it's going to be a big number.
Sure.
That's my hypothesis. I think this is going to be a powerful thing, particularly if it's really incorporated into the classes.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful program. I think it's a great stepping stone, for folks who are just getting in over there and finding a person that you can really work with and go from there.
And I think also moving forward, it's really great for people because, our great hobby is all about communicating with people.
Sure.
And building friendships and camaraderie along the way.
Absolutely.
And, you never know, that code buddy that you get on the air with, for that first time, or you have those firsts with, that might be a lifelong friend that you're building.
Absolutely.
You just might get that as a bonus.
Yeah. Great benefits, that's for sure. Well, Jay, listen, good luck with that, with the program itself. We'll look forward to kind of maybe participating, and we'll see where it goes from there. And thanks again for heading up the program. It's going to be a good one. Code Buddies. Sounds good. Jay, thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Take care.
All right. Did.
The great outdoors. Sounds wonderful. There's something undeniably special about connecting with nature, being outside, whether it's hiking in the lush forest, camping under starry skies, taking maybe a peaceful walk through the park, and how about a little ham radio to boot? That's a favorite activity that a lot of folks have basically taken to the parks, and we're talking about Parks on the Air. Parks on the Air is definitely fun. Getting outdoors and operating a ham radio is a great way to grow your skills and meet other ham radio operators. And it's just a great way to practice your operating skills under a portable operation. One of the folks who've really taken Parks on the Air to another level is Lidi KQ3Q. Well, Lidi, how did you get started?
Actually, I heard POTA through our LICW WhatsApp app, right? And that's where I learned about POTA. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed the fact that people were chasing other people and getting awards and certificates. And it's like I call it an adult game, mm-hmm. so to speak, And the whole thing, it was for me to pretty much, I wanted to do it for me to be able to, or force myself to copy random call signs.
Okay.
Because yes, I would actually call CQ from my home's QTH, but mm-hmm. people are not coming at me like they do when you POTA. That was the main purpose for me, was just to do that, for me to start forcing myself to copy random call signs, because I guess I would see it on on YouTube, I would actually go to YouTube and watch other activators and copy, like listen and copy. But it's not the same when you are the activator and the stress level is actually like there, like you are it. And you
Okay.
better get this no matter how, even if you have to ask 2 or 3 times, but you are it. You need to get this. As
Sure.
opposed to, when you're listening this on YouTube, you're more relaxed. Like you should be able to be relaxed anyway, because that's the whole purpose, but still it's different. It's not the same as when you are the activator and you are like what they say, you're the DX.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much that's why I started doing it. But the first time I did it, it was kind of like, oh, I need to do it again. It was like that
Yeah,
bug,
yeah,
just like
exactly.
just bit me, and like you need to do
Oh
it.
boy. Yeah, it's like the line out there and the fish on the line going, oh, I got to do that again. So what is POTA? Can you kind of fill in the blanks over there for somebody who, I don't know, been living under a rock somewhere, who's never heard of it? But what is POTA? Go ahead.
My dog, I'm pretty bad with definitions or explaining things like that, as many others can actually explain it. But which is, we know that POTA stands for Parks on the Air.
Okay.
Someone goes to a park and, to use their radio and start calling CQ from the park to communicate with other people who wants to what we call hunt them.
Okay, so you have hunters and activators. I take
So
it.
the activator is the person who goes to the actual park, physically to the actual park, and starts making contacts with all these people. And you have the protocol of saying either CQ POTA in CW, or if you're doing voice, it's different, So CQ works on the air, but let's leave that on the side. But yeah, CQ POTA, and then your call sign, and pretty much that's when people, they would actually go to the website, which is POTA.app, and
Okay.
people may confuse that website sometimes. Oh, you need to go to the POTA app because that's the actual link. POTA,
Gotcha.
POTA
Okay.
dot app. So many people confuse POTA app with an actual app on a phone, and there's
Right.
no app.
Okay.
Go to that website, and that's where you're going to see a list of active people
Who are
at a park,
okay?
And the hunters are those who are not physically at a park hunting. That's the terminology.
Okay.
Those activators. So they just make contact. It's a short, simple exchange. It's just your signal report, their state, and that's it. Pretty much, it's a very short, simple exchange.
Exchange to do that, right? There we go. Hey, it's a great idea. You get outside, you get a little fresh air,
That's the thing. You get
you know.
the part that I go to, which is the one on the background here. It's Biscayne National Park. Well, this is actually Boca Chica. You have to get there to this lighthouse by boat. But I lived here for 20 years, and I've been to that park very few times.
Okay.
Now I don't know how many times I've been there. At least 40, I think, by now. It's really enjoyable. You get to be outdoors. And yes, there are so many other parks around me, maybe. Not so, it's still a little bit long, maybe because I have young kids. So I rather be closer to their school. In emergency, I need to go and respond.
Right.
My husband is working, and I'm home, so I get to do program.
Yeah, there you are.
While he's working, but don't say that. He knows that. So then, and then, so that's why I normally go to this park, and it's beautiful. So yes, you get to enjoy the outdoors, and then you learn. As I started, like my whole excuse, well, I just want to start copying random call signs, right?
Okay.
And then pretty much after that, I'm like, well, you know what? I really like this. And then after finding out you get certain awards for activating the park, if you go there for 20 times, you do an activation, 20 times, you get this repeat offense, award for activating
Oh, sure. Yeah.
part for 20 times. So, you get all these little, incentives, I guess, that people really
Oh,
like.
yeah, but
They
what
like
fun.
awards.
Yeah.
We like to have something that will say, hey, I got this. I earned this, I guess. And then I started, like, okay, well, what if I use this other antenna? Oh, there's a mask. I don't have a mask. Let's try the mask. So you get to uh, experiment, especially me who doesn't, I didn't have I mean, I'm pretty much 2 years into ham. So I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty young in the sense of the ham world
Right,
and
exactly.
understanding terminology and understanding so many
Hmm.
things.
So,
So
just
yeah.
curious, how did you start out? What kind of a rig did you put together to get started? And what would you suggest for somebody who wants to get started in this? What would you do? You can go, I suppose you go, very big, very small, just, for
I
portable.
I had to I had to start small myself
Okay.
because first of all, my husband had just purchased the Icon 7300 that we've been wanting to get,
Mm-hmm.
plus a vertical antenna, which is not the best of the best of the best, but it works.
Uh-huh.
So that's already, in the thousands. And even though the Icon was on sale $900 back then, but still that adds up along with the antenna. And then once I just got the rig for home,
Uh-huh.
found out about POTA. I'm like, well, honey, I cannot say this to him. Can you just buy me this wonderful big, aircraft like, people always talk about? And I don't think so.
Oh, what fun.
We have, like I said, we have young kids, so we're very mindful on certain financial decisions. So we have to wait. But
Uh-huh.
when I searched for QRP, that's when I started learning about QRP. Remember, I had just
Right.
became a
Yep.
ham and I didn't know about this little QRP. So that's when I found out about QRP Labs. Kit for I forgot how much, but it's like $60 maybe or 57. I forget
Really?
exactly, but
Wow.
it's
So it wouldn't take you much to get into it at all. 50, 60
no.
bucks and away you go.
However, the wait there's a long list for you to
Okay.
get the rig. I was like, but that's if you want it already pre-built for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
I was not gonna wait 6 months, so I decided to build it myself, and
Cool.
that's when I'm like, okay, well, if it's gonna get here in 2 weeks because it's coming from Turkey, then I can start building it, and it should be ready by Thanksgiving. I forget
Uh-huh.
exactly when I actually ordered it,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew we were gonna be on vacation at a certain by Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I built it. It took me about almost 2 weeks,
All
a
right.
little bit less, but then you have to do some fine tuning and adjustments or something. So, and then I redid it. I don't know how many times because I wasn't sure if I was doing it correct. And that's when I knew I got it. I decided to buy that because it's affordable
Sure.
and
Sure.
I have already know many people. Well, you have to build it. I've never built anything before. Guess what? I've never built anything before. I don't know anything about capacitors and toroids, and
What
I'm
are
not.
these things? Yes.
I just knew. I just knew that if I print the manual and follow those instructions as because it's wonderful. Those
Mm-hmm.
instructions are
Mm-hmm.
written very nice for someone like me. I would say that who doesn't have any background of electronics or anything. I never even solder anything before.
Boy, there you go. What a heck of a deal. So, with that particular thing, what was your first contact?
That's actually I went to Louisa State Park. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly the name. That's in Central Florida. That's when for that was the week Thanksgiving week.
Okay.
2023. Yeah,
Oh.
and yeah, I had just started learning CW. So I'm still new, obviously, but still I was
Mm-hmm.
a lot newer. Like 5 months into it, I believe, or a little
Ah.
bit less, maybe I forgot, and that's where I decided let's go. But and so that's when
Give it a shot. Yeah.
I activated. Yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff. What would you recommend for somebody who wants to get started?
Well, it depends on their budget. Everything depends on their budget. So if they have all the money,
Yeah.
all the money they want to spend because they have it.
Right.
Well, it's different. So they can splurge. I actually recently, someone allowed me to use their Elecraft. What is it? Is it KX3, the tiny
Yeah,
little
the
one?
little tiny way. Yeah.
That was wonderful. You could just no noise, and you could just hear the tiny little,
Yeah.
uh, this,
Transceiver. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was just so beautiful. That's it. I have not used anything else for me to actually say use this,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not really. But it's pricey. I'm talking about for those who money is not an issue. But then you can go to QRP Labs, get a little, and build it yourself.
Right.
Or what is it? The other one that they have is already. Well, now there's one. True DX. I forgot. Oh, True Bits. I forgot. There's one. I think it's from India, and I
Okay.
think they're coming up now in next month. They're actually selling it right now, but I think they're going to start delivering it next
Mm-hmm.
month.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name, but there's one that is from India. It's actually
Sure.
uh, some people already use the other version, but they're doing a QRP. I forgot the name. But other than that, what is it that I've seen people use? They have the ICOM 705. Again, you have to splurge. But then there's a popular one that I've heard of other people using it, which is the G90.
Okay.
It's a Chinese radio, so
Uh-huh.
that's one of the other ones. But I have not used them for me to say yes, go for
Yeah.
it. But I've heard others that they actually use them and they make a lot of contacts. And that one, at least the G90, it has an internal uh, tuner, which is great because the Icon 705, even though it's so fancy, it doesn't
Uh-huh.
come. So you have to now worry about an external,
Yeah.
antenna tuner.
So
Yeah.
what kind of an antenna do you use now? And you got the 7300, but what are you using for an antenna at this point?
So for POTA, I was lucky enough or blessed, however you want to say it. One of our LICW uh, instructors, he actually sent me, he as a gift, he gave me it's actually sold by Vibroplex. It's the trail friendly,
Hmm.
uh, which is resonant in 10
Mm-hmm.
meters. It's called the trail friendly.
Ah.
And it used to be sold by LNR. So my antenna says LNR,
Ah.
but now it's sold by Vibroplex.
Ah. Okay.
Yes.
Take a look at
So
that. Yeah. And I guess it could be as you say, it could be as much or as little as you want to basically put into the program. But the experience is the real thing. Regardless of how you get there, that's the real thing. How many contacts have you made so far?
I can't give you the name, but I did make my first kilo already at Biscayne National Park. And at the kilo is 1,000 contacts.
Oh.
Where my goal was to make the 1,000 contacts only in CW.
Ah.
So
Okay.
I have made more after that. I don't know the numbers from the top of my head.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think POTA has really kind of spurred people along and getting interested in the CW and getting into ham radio. And it was kind of interesting to see some of the ARRL numbers over there.
And they have done a very good job. I don't, like I said, I know others that they started doing POTA from the beginning of the program. I have no idea how it used to be or how it all started. I've read about it, but not, but for example, the website is just great. You
Uh-huh.
can live feed people actually doing the activation. And it's so user friendly, I would say.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they're always maybe updating and doing doing all
Sure.
this
Sure.
to keep it up. But it's really nice. It's really friendly. You can see who is actually activating
Mm-hmm.
and will be activating as well, because there is another section where you can schedule activations ahead of time, so you can actually look through the list and perhaps there's a specific location, specific part that you're actually hunting for,
Ah. Okay.
or a specific activator that you're actually hunting. So you can actually see that through their website. But it's what I really like. It's also for CW section, how the RBN actually really connects with the POTA app, and pretty much. So you start calling CQ, called CQ POTA, right? Somehow with the RBN and the POTA, it connects, and they know that you are activating. So it puts you as active on their website.
Okay.
I have a lot of issues, cell phone issues at Biscayne National Park because I don't have cell phone signal.
Okay. All right.
So it works wonders when you call in CW, CQ POTA, so the RBN, it's like talks to you. That's how I say it. To the POTA app, and that's when it activates me, puts me in the active list that I'm actually at a park.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really good.
So you go to the app basically, and you can see who's out there and who's operating, and so on and so forth. At that point, you become the hunter and looking for the I guess the activators.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a geocache on steroids or something.
Yes, and for other different people, like my cousin who's really young, I would say for Pokemon, it's just
well, there you go.
They have their cell phones and they're catching all these little creatures, all virtual, and they actually gather together and they go to different places to collect all these little monsters. So we're doing the same thing, but with people over, on the air. So it's a different way of putting it for younger generation, I guess.
Oh, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Anyway, Lidi, thank you so much. It's been fun yakking with you over there, and good luck with the program. Hope you continue along with it, and hope I can hear you on the air there sometime. Find you.
Hope so. It's far, but I've made some contacts from your state, actually. So it's possible that we can do a POTA, contact one day.
Yep, hope we can do that. Lidi, thank you so much. Take care.
All right, you too. Thank you.
For more information, you can go to POTA, that's parksontheair.com. They've got a great little starter book out there which will explore the process of activating a park and hunting and all the rest of the aspects of Parks on the Air. I know you'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. This is LICW is produced by the Informational Services of the Long Island CW Club. Comments, questions may be made to WA7BFN@msn.com. Thanks, everybody. Till next time, 73s.